Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig, and this, of course, is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome to the program. Well, President Trump went to the United Nations today, and what the United Nations did today rises to the level of, well, they should be kicked out of New York, quite frankly, and the United States should shut off all of their funding. There was a major plot. In fact, there were several things that happened against the president today. I'm going to talk about them, and we've got a lot to cover on top of this, but I want to start with this because, you know, the United Nations is nothing but a collection of loser countries that are insignificant, and they come together and they demand money from the United States. What does the United Nations do other than take money from us? What is their purpose? What wars have they ended? You know, the whole idea of the United Nations was this. It came out of after the First World War. They tried to, well, they formed, it fell apart real quick. The League of Nations, Woodrow Wilson, the League of Nations, and it fell apart. And the UN, the United Nations, after the Second World War came into being, and it was going to be a successful version of the League of Nations. And the whole idea of the United Nations was that we're not going to have any more wars. Whenever there's a conflict, everyone's going to come here and we're going to talk it all out. What wars have the United Nations prevented? In fact, maybe they've started wars. It serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. And there were a few things that happened today that are disgusting. They should be kicked out of New York, and that very valuable real estate should be turned into something else. But there was one story, which I'm not going to get into till later, but there was this big telecom spy operation that could have shut down all of the cell phones in the area that they say was done by a foreign power. Who did that? And while some foreign power was plotting against our president in New York City today and the government of the United States with this telecom thing, the United Nations themselves were doing these petty little things. And they were trying to embarrass the president. Now, the first one was the escalator. The president and Melania, they step on the escalator and boom, it stops. And there was, yeah, exactly.
Steve Kane or Steve Kane iPhone.
Well, I'm going to have to call Steve back after the podcast. He should have called me a couple minutes ago. Sorry, Steve. I'll call you back. So let me play. Let me play this. This is the escalator, and I'll tell you what they were trying to do. This is when it began. So the president and the first lady, they're going to get on the escalator, and it stops. Watch.
Mr. President, what is your message in light of the...
What is your message? My message is you all suck. That's what it is. Chuck Schumer. Okay, now watch. They're going to step on the elevator. And boom, it stops. And not only, as soon as Trump and Melania are on the escalator, it starts to go up. Oh, by the way, this is the Brian Craig Show podcast. Make sure you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening on, all right? As soon as it starts going and it goes up a little bit, it abruptly stops. What was the point of that? They were trying to get the president and first lady to fall down. And let me tell you, people can get really badly hurt falling down like this. I hear that. That Frenchman's pretty loud. I mean, this is crazy. See? They were trying to get him to fall, and he's just standing there. And then, of course, they walked up. Can you believe this? Now, do you all agree that this was done on purpose, or do you think it was an accident? What do you guys think? Did the escalator just miraculously stop? Could you imagine? Biden wouldn't have been able to walk up there. President Trump's in great shape. Melania's in her high heels. And he's making a joke about it. But, yeah, there is no doubt in my mind that somebody flipped the switch on the escalator to try to get him to fall. That's it. And then he goes out. Yeah, there's no question it was deliberate. Then he goes out there and he's giving this speech that is being broadcast globally, not just in the United States. He's the president of the United States. He's giving a speech, and the teleprompter goes out. I am not kidding. The teleprompter went out.
I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you.
Hold on. Let me rewind that. Hold on a second here. So he's up there, he's giving his speech, and then all of a sudden, the teleprompter stops working.
I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless, and that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
Yeah. So, what are the chances that this, and then later on there was some problems with the microphone. So what are the chances that this is a coincidence? Slim to none, right? There's no chance. This was all done on purpose to try to humiliate him. But, he doesn't need the written speech because he always goes off the top of his head. So he's just able to continue. Now, later on, the teleprompter did come back on. But that and the escalator, I'd love to know who was behind it. And I don't think it was just some lone operator somewhere. I think it was a little more insidious than that. I think it was, without a doubt, a little larger plot because the teleprompter and the escalator, those are two different operators, okay? So you would have to coordinate that a little bit. That's not something that you could just, coincidentally could happen. Two different operators operating the different things. There really truly needs to be a major investigation because this is, frankly, an attack on this country. It's an attack on they tried to make our president fall, and they who knows? They may have thought because of his age, it could have done some damage to him. Here we are, less than 2 weeks since they assassinated Charlie Kirk, and they pull this? Come on. And then the teleprompter? Give me a break. Here's the president speaking, making some very, very good points. He's talking about everything that's happened.
No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing
because they
the
suck.
deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, and thank you very much means, F you very much is what he's really saying there. I mean, so what are your thoughts on that? Now, I know the usual voices on the left, they have no problem with something like that happening, but it's a big deal. When you're on an escalator and an escalator just abruptly stops like that, and it stopped after they were up it just a little bit. The jerking, you could lose your balance, especially with the First Lady in high heels. You could fall, and you could kill yourself. The stairs are metal. There's metal all around, and you're falling backwards. It's very dangerous. In fact, that could have been another assassination attempt, quite honestly. Would you be surprised if you found out it was? And, we got the guilty verdict on all counts on Ruth, the golf course assassin, in Fort Pierce, Florida. And remember, I told you it was in Judge Eileen Cannon's courtroom, who was the judge that handled the documents case when they broke into Mar-a-Lago. And I told you that Fort Pierce is in St. Lucie County, Florida. It is the most MAGA jury pool that you could possibly have, right? It is the most the MAGA place you could have that they're pulling from jurors. And boom, they came back with a verdict. What was it, 5 minutes or 10 minutes? They came back with a verdict of guilty on all counts. And that's in Fort Pierce, Florida today. The golf course assassin, guilty on all counts. And that is where it's been reported that Pam Bondi has one of the grand juries into these Obama coup conspirators is in Fort Pierce, which would be in that courthouse. So the grand jury pool would be the same pool that pulled the people that were on this Trump assassins jury. So it really tells you that's the place you want to go to get some real, true, and just verdicts. If this assassin's case would have been like in Virginia, they may have found him not guilty, or maybe at the worst insanity. He's going away, and he stabbed himself in the neck with a pen when the verdict came down. They deliberated 2 hours. Nah, I mean, did they deliberate for 2 hours? Or did they spend like an hour and 45 minutes getting the paperwork together, getting lunch together, taking bathroom breaks? Did they really deliberate for 2 hours of discussion? I don't think so. I think they deliberated for like 5 minutes, okay? They had to do lunch, bathroom breaks. Okay, how do these forms work? They have to read off all the counts and everything, and then they got to fill out the forms and all that. Nah, I think there was about 5 or 10 minutes of deliberation and about an hour and 45 minutes of, just getting organized, right? I mean, that was a quick verdict. And that's what you can, to say they deliberated for 2 hours, like they had a discussion, was like there were some people that weren't sure. Now, I think they knew as soon as they were in the jury room, they were going guilty. But the president commented on the verdict today at the UN. He was asked about it. This verdict just came in just a bit ago.
I'm very appreciative of the justice that was given and the way it was handled by Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche and everybody that it's been, and their team of people. It was really well handled, and it's very important. You can't let things like that happen. Nothing to do with me, but a president or even a person. You can't allow that to happen. And so justice was served, and we'll see what happens. But I very much appreciate the judge and jury and everybody on that. It was so professionally handled, and it's a great honor.
Yeah,
very appreciative.
I mean, isn't it nice when you get a just verdict? You get a just verdict. You get it in just a few minutes. None of this days, no different counts. You got a real judge, a real jury. Not like these crooked juries in New York and in D.C. and in Virginia, or like the O.J. verdict in L.A. But you get, you've got these Democrats that are in the jury pool in New York and the D.C. area and Virginia and everything else. And they don't care about, they would have given this guy a pass. Do you think he would have been found guilty on all counts in New York City, the golf course shooter? Do you think? Do you think he would have been, or they had a hung jury or an acquittal? Or what about D.C. or Northern Virginia? Would they have gotten a conviction on all counts? I don't think so. I mean, they let John Hinckley out of prison. He shot Reagan. Right? And we heard the way they've talked after Charlie Kirk's assassination. They think
there's positive economic data continues to pour in.
Hold on.
Brand new polling shows that America.
Okay, hold on. Hit the wrong button. We'll get to that in just a bit. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number's toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Pam from Atlanta. How
Hey,
are
Pam.
you?
All right, Pam. What's up?
Well, I want to argue your point right there that, this gentleman who tried to assassinate Trump, I mean, everybody wants to put a right or a left in the jury pool or a right and a left and this and that and the government, what have you. The man was a lunatic, and he tried to assassinate the president. It's not a right or left thing. That's what makes it divisive. I mean, clearly he had a problem with President Trump, and he wanted to do something.
Well, no,
about it,
I think he was.
terrible.
I think he was part of a larger plot with Ukraine. I know so.
They don't
yeah.
seem very sophisticated.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
And this gentleman with Charlie Kirk, not that sophisticated.
Well,
either.
no.
He was an
This
angry
guy.
young man.
No. Okay, this guy.
So why do we assign right or left, red or blue?
I'm going
why
to tell
do
you.
we keep doing that?
Well, because liberals are killing people and shooting people all the time.
No, we're not.
Oh,
I'm
you're
very
a liberal.
liberal.
Okay, now let me tell you. Let me tell you about Ruth. Okay, the golf course assassin. Okay.
Yes.
Now think about this. There were 2 assassination attempts on President Trump last summer.
Very
right?
quickly together.
Yeah.
Very
okay.
close together.
So you got 2 shooters, right? Dylan Roof and the Routh guy, right? Do you know that both of them are in corporate BlackRock movies, separate movies? Did you know that?
No, I don't spend that much time.
Well, that's why you don't think there's any relation. Okay, so the Butler shooter was in a BlackRock video about teachers. The golf course assassin was in a BlackRock video about Ukraine. What are the chances?
Well, tell me who BlackRock is.
It's that big international corporation that owns everything. Look them up when you're done talking to me. It'll blow your mind.
I absolutely will.
But it could be any corporation. What are the odds? There's 2 assassins in just a couple weeks apart in the same summer of the same president. Both of them are in corporate videos for the same company, separate videos. What are the odds of that? Pretty crazy, huh?
I know. I think that is a very crazy.
It's true.
Yeah,
you could. By the way, look all this stuff up. Okay, I'll give you a couple other things. Okay, the Butler assassin who actually shot the president, he had a bunch of cell phones and they had Ukrainian phone numbers in them. The golf course assassin who was convicted today, he not only had been to Ukraine. He was a recruiter working for Ukraine, recruiting American veterans as mercenaries to fight for Ukraine. The weapon that he used was the weapons that they were handing out to the civilians in Ukraine when the war first happened. And, and there's a lot of things we don't know. Where was he staying when he was here? How did he get to Florida? Where was he staying while he was in Florida? I made the only documentary film on that assassination. It's on my YouTube channel here. Check it out. I start the video where the assassin stood, where he supposedly hid in these bushes for 12 hours. It's complete BS. Mm-hmm. It's totally transparent. Plus, he was wearing that bright pink shirt. You could have seen him a mile away. And I walk his escape route and follow the route all the way until where they arrested him on I-95, quite a ways away after he made his getaway. So you've got the Ukrainian connection with both of them. You got the BlackRock connection with both of them. No, there's a larger plot here we haven't gotten to the bottom of, and there's a connection. You have no comment on any of that? You didn't know any of it.
No, I'm not aware of any because I don't dive that deep. I think my biggest concerns come from the divisive conversations that we have. Like as an independent liberal, that's how I view myself, because I do have some conservative tendencies. I do want to see my government smaller. I do want to see a separation of church and state. I do want to see the Constitution be, intact in the next 4 years. These are things that I care deeply about. Conservative views, right?
Well,
I'm terrified
if you
right now of what's happening. But here's my point.
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me answer all these. Let me answer all these phones
The
lines.
blue and the red stuff and the hating of each other, and we can have differences of
Well, a
opinion
liberal
and
just excuse me,
reality.
a liberal Democrat just assassinated Charlie Kirk less than 2 weeks ago.
That is not true.
Charlie Kirk's
he
not
didn't
what?
even identify with a party. He
Come
didn't
on.
have it.
Come on.
He was raised in a red household.
What does that
so
mean?
we are
What does
told.
that mean? So we're told.
That means his parents are Republicans.
So what?
So we're told. That's what, like, you're telling me about these.
Did you know?
BlackRock
Did you
things,
know that President?
that's what
Did
I'm
you know
being
that?
told.
Did you know that President Trump's parents were Democrats? Both of them. So what? What does that mean? He's a Democrat.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
my whole point. So he was raised in a red household.
But
right?
Donald
So
Trump
that's
was raised.
irrelevant. You're
Donald
saying-
Trump was raised in a Democrat household.
Well, Donald Trump's a Democrat.
No, he's not. He's
Donald
a
Trump-
he's a Democrat. Oh my goodness.
He
Really?
went red
Really?
because he knows
Then-
that the uneducated red is going to fall
Oh,
for
okay.
his own
We're all ignorant.
every time.
We're all ignorant. What? Why are you?
No, not at all.
Hold on. I got some questions for you. I got some
Stop
questions
this
for you.
nonsense.
The Charlie Kirk assassin is gay, and he's got a boyfriend who's
So?
transitioning towards to become a
Okay.
woman.
I know
and
a
he-
lot of gay Republicans.
And but the Republicans don't shoot the Republican leaders. And he assassinated the number 2 guy in the whole MAGA movement. I think his liberal credentials are strong.
I think assigning a party to an assassination.
I know it's not convenient.
Somebody.
What? Name
This person
name a
assassinated somebody,
Republican.
not a party.
Name a Republican that assassinated a president.
Well,
Shut up.
they weren't Republicans
They're all
back then.
yes, they
McKinley
were.
was
They were
the
all.
last
Every
one.
assassin's been every killer's been a Democrat. No, they've all been.
But
They've all been
The
Democrats.
Republicans flipped in the late 1800s.
They
you
didn't.
know that.
No, that's not true.
Yes, they did.
That's not
the
true.
ideology flipped in
No,
the
it
late
didn't.
1800s.
It did. No,
is
it didn't.
true.
It's not true. Tell me when that happened.
Republicans.
Tell me about that historic moment.
The Republicans freed
The slaves.
our slaves.
From the Democrats. The Democrats
Yes.
held the slaves. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then after that, they all switched parties. Why would they do
The
that?
ideology flipped
When this historic
after the Civil War.
After the Civil War.
After the Civil War. Do you not? You got to get on your history too here.
I have a degree in history. I have a history
And
degree.
then you don't. And so you're going to deny these facts.
They're not facts. They're liberal urban legends.
They're not.
They're liberal
Okay,
fairy
all your
tales.
listeners, please. We're up to 1.2, by the way. We're doing really good here.
What do you mean 1.2? What are you
up-
talking about?
1.2 thousand people. 1.2 likes.
Oh no, I'll
that you
have
got.
no.
So
That's
good
only
for
on
you.
one stream.
So-
Yes. I've had 3 million
Again,
people
all your
watch.
listeners, go and look up the changes
Listen,
of
no,
the
no,
parties
the-
back in the
I
late
mean,
1800s.
Let me ask you this: this historic event, okay? This historic event.
Which one?
When all the Republicans decided to become Democrats and all the Democrats decided to become Republicans, where was this historic
well,
event?
Like what's happening now. It's kind of like what's happening now.
No,
There's
what
a
I
major
no. What I want to find out is when was this historic moment? Because I want to look up all the newspaper articles that covered this big party switch when all the good
Because
people.
there were a ton of newspapers back then, right?
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes. There
All
were
right.
there were newspapers in the
I can
colonial
Google this
period.
as we speak.
Google what? Tell me what news article from the time that I can find.
I'm going to.
Okay,
I'm
I want to
gonna-
find. I want to
we're gonna
find. I
do
want
this.
a newspaper article. Okay, a newspaper
Okay.
article that tells the story of how all the good people became Democrats and all those evil people agreed to
Wait a
become
minute.
Republicans.
That's the problem. You're assigning good and evil to Republican
Democrats,
and Democrats.
Democrats are evil.
And that's not fair because
You're evil.
because-
Democrats are evil. No. Don't.
Well, you
I'm
can't say,
just.
I'm not a Democrat.
I'm just.
I'm
I
an
know.
independent,
I know.
so
Independently.
I like a little from
okay.
both
Wait.
sides,
Hold on.
you know,
just
but
you keep searching.
you want
I want
people to hate each
I
other,
want
and
the.
that's not right.
I want the newspaper article. The newspaper
Well,
article.
I can't Google it because you're talking too fast. and
Well,
you're telling me
just let me do
Democrats are
let me
terrible.
do the talking while you're doing the Googling. Let's find a newspaper article that covered this historic event where all the good people became Democrats and all those evil people became Republicans. This big party switch. Certainly
Ooh.
the newspapers would have
Okay.
covered such a historic event.
You nailed it. The Great Switch, it's called.
No, that's not
Let
a
me
newspaper
find it.
article. I want a. I know what.
I know,
I
I'm
know the
going to
liberal
find
lie. I want a news account of it of the day.
Oh, it's a lie.
Yes,
Oh.
it never happened. That's exactly right. I know this is news to you. The Great Party Switch never happened.
No, it's not. I understand truth, and MAGA doesn't like
Well,
to
find
live in truth.
find
You
me
do
the
it to
newspaper
create your
article.
own-
Find me the newspaper article from the day that covered
I
it.
don't think they had microfiche back in the 1850s.
The New York
okay?
Times. Yes,
So
they did.
unfortunately,
And no,
I
in
can't
fact,
pull out
the
a
New York.
newspaper.
In fact,
the New York Times did not have a microfiche in the 1800s. Come on now.
you can get every edition of the New York Times way back into the 1800s, absolutely, in their archives. They're all available. Yeah, just Google and find the newspaper article that covered this big party switch, and I will read it right here on the show. A newspaper article that covered the story, and I will read it on the air. In fact, I'll read it on...
Well, you know I'm not going to find one.
Why do you think I know that? Why do you think I know that?
Because it wasn't like one day everybody woke up
No.
and said it's a big
Well, that's
switch and
no,
it
because
became
it did no,
newsworthy.
because it
It's
didn't happen.
Because it happened over time. Yes,
When
it
did this happen?
It happened
When?
over time.
When?
And we are watching it happen.
Then tell me when
right
it happened.
now.
Tell me when it happened.
We are going to watch these parties fall apart and regroup and come back
No,
together.
your
And it's gonna
party.
happen. It
Hey,
happens
listen.
all the time.
Listen, I got to run, but welcome
I'm
to.
not in any party.
I know.
I'm not in any
I know.
party.
Well, I am.
I'm
in
in
the.
the party of
I'm in the
love.
Republican Party. Okay, I'm MAGA. I love President Trump. Welcome to the show.
I'm loving that we can chat this.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
We can talk this out.
Call me again sometime.
Thank
But it's
you.
one call per show. But call me again
Bye.
sometime. Okay, take care. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We'll be right back. On the line, we have Bruce. Bruce is a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. He heard me talking with Joe Thomas about annuities and what a great deal they are. And he went in with his wife, and now he's a client. Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian.
So tell me about your experience with Jupiter Joe Thomas.
A fine gentleman. We sat down with Joe, and we explained everything to him, and we brought all our information, and he worked everything out great.
The cool thing about annuities is your money's never at risk. You're guaranteed a revenue stream for the rest of your life, but there's a bonus, really a signing bonus, where you can make a boatload of money before you even leave Joe Thomas's office. Can you talk a little bit about that, Bruce?
Well, that's where I was surprised when we sat down. We talked about the bonuses, and to my amazement, it was 10%, and there was even another one that's bigger.
Wow, that's amazing. So you made 10% on your money before you even got back in your car.
Yeah, it was more than that, but it was great.
Listen, guys, do what Bruce did. Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call. You can set up a free consultation either on the phone or in the office, and Joe Thomas will put together a custom proposal just for you. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999 and online at jupiterjoe.com. All right, Bruce, thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Brian.
All right, we're back. All right. You know, that last call, the big party switch, by the way, the liberal urban legend is that it happened in the 1960s, not the 1800s. And where that BS came from is that, you know, for those of you that are new, okay, everything that the liberals think America owes a debt for or should apologize for was all brought to you by Democrats, right? Democrats were the party of the slave owners. Democrats were the party of the Confederacy. Lincoln was shot by a Democrat, okay? The Tuskegee experiments, FDR, Democrats did that. The internment of Americans of Japanese descent into concentration camps, President Roosevelt, Democrat, did that. All the lynchings that happened of African Americans, every black man lynched in America was lynched by a Republican or a Democrat, and every black man who was lynched was a Republican. So the Democrats did the lynchings. Oh yeah, the segregationists, the Jim Crow people, those were all Democrats too. And somehow the Democrats just started repeating the lie so often, people started to believe it on the left, the Goebbels school, and they had this big party switch, okay? And where that comes from, well, it comes from the Dixiecrats, right? The Dixiecrats were opposing the civil rights law, so they formed the Dixiecrats. And all the Dixiecrats, and there were over 20 of them, there were 21, 22 of them, all the Dixiecrats went back, all those racist Dixiecrats went back to the Democrat Party except one. There were 21, 22, 23 Dixiecrats, can't remember the exact number, but all of them went back to the Democrat Party except one, Strom Thurmond. He became a Republican. All the rest, including Al Gore's father, Al Gore Sr., went back to the Democrat Party. And out of that, they created this big liberal lie, this urban legend of this big party switch. And the reason I was so confident she wouldn't produce a newspaper article is because it doesn't exist. It just never happened. All right, let's take some more calls. Let's go. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast on all podcast platforms. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Will. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Pennsylvania. What's on your mind?
I'm on the mind because I recently tuned into the broadcast. And
Welcome.
I was thinking about how anything that's being talked about on there has anything to do with affordability in the country.
Well, I'm not talking about affordability.
What are you talking about?
Well, watch the show and you'll see.
Be
Maybe on your show you can talk about affordability. I'm not talking about affordability. You know what? I'll tell you what I really can't afford? Boring callers, boring my audience to death.
Okay.
All right, take care. Oh boy. Well, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Maybe on your show you can talk about affordability.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a caller from up north.
Okay.
Right. And I'm calling with peace and love. I have no dog in this fight.
Mm-hmm. Peace and love. Okay.
I just wonder. I just have a question. Like, you're not on air, are you?
Yeah, we're live on the air right now.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm just curious because you know how we hear different stuff up here from down there. Truth isn't always transparent all the time, right? We understand that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I don't understand, sir, with all due respect, because I'm not either one side or the other. I'm straight neutral, right? Because there's good and bad both sides. So I don't condone any of this kind of stuff. And I do really also want to say my condolences to Charlie Kirk's family.
Uh-huh.
That's devastating from even us up here.
All right. So what you want to ask?
So my question is, with all this going on with the left and right down there, the only thing we don't understand is with Trump is with the files that haven't come out, right? That are enough out there. There's enough out there. Now, again, like I said, we might not get everything up here in Canada, right?
Oh, you're in Canada. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm up here. I have no dog in the fight, but I have a lot of family down there.
Yeah.
I was born down there.
Yeah.
But my thing is there any fear? What is the big fear of the big fight?
I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. You're being very vague. You've got to be more specific.
With the Constitution, which you guys say left does this, right does this, what is the big dog in the fight, though? Like, what is the purpose?
I know you're not an American, right? You're a Canadian, but the United States...
I am an American.
No, you're not. You're Canadian.
American.
Right now, when we say American, we mean a citizen of the United States of America, not people in North America. Just because in North America, by that standard, Mexicans are Americans. Are Mexican Americans? Mexicans?
No, I was born.
Oh, you were born in the United States. You're an American living in Canada?
I am a citizen.
You're a citizen living in... Why are you living? Why would you abandon the greatest country in the world to go live in that third-rate country?
Right now, that is very ill.
Okay. All right. So you're an American living in Canada. So what you're asking me what the fight is between liberals and conservatives is I don't understand what you're asking.
Well, because I'm in the middle, right? And I'm fearful of all this hate that's going on with, because when I come
the
back
hate
home,
is one-sided. The hate is one-sided, okay? All the hate's coming from the Democrats. The Democrats have shot our president in the head. They tried to shoot him again. A guy was just convicted for another liberal, trying to kill him today. And a Democrat assassinated Charlie Kirk 2 weeks ago. It's not on both sides. It's on one side. The Democrats are shooting people and killing people that they disagree with politically. Republicans aren't doing that.
That's the LGBTQ community who sometimes doesn't like Charlie Kirk, he preached what he wanted to preach, and some people just have hate in their hearts.
The shooter is a liberal. He's a Democrat. He's a gay. He's a gay man in a gay relationship with a guy who's becoming a woman, and he shot the number 2 person in the entire MAGA movement. The number 1 person's the president. Number 2 was Charlie Kirk. That's a Democrat. That's a liberal.
Okay, so then why do all the liberals get the hate then if it's just
because they're mentally ill? They're tyrants and they used to own black people. And then after that, they used to lynch black people, Democrats. They're evil. Democrats are evil.
Didn't one of the presidents say back in the day, I think it was Franklin, who said, you stand by your president until they do wrong. So for Trump to do all that he's doing wrong, not saying he hasn't done good. I can't look.
Everything he's done is good. You sure you're an American? You've got a Canadian accent.
Okay, sure. Well,
you got a Canadian accent. That's okay. It's not heavy. I mean, you have to have a trained ear to hear it. My mother-in-law is from Canada. She's an American, though.
Okay.
She's a U.S. citizen.
Well, she must be bad then, too.
Oh, no, she's great. She voted for President Trump 3 times. She's in Canada right now, my mother-in-law, visiting her family.
Yeah,
and they love Trump, too.
That's not a problem, who voted for who, right?
But you said 2, so now you just admitted to me you're Canadian.
No, it's because I'm right here.
Okay. All right. Okay. But it's the Democrats are shooting Republicans, MAGA people, and killing them sometimes. So
but it's not all Democrats, and it's not.
That's not all Democrats. What does that mean? Not do you know when America was attacked on 9/11? Not all of Al Qaeda did that. We had 19 hijackers. So were the 19? Hold on a second. Were the 19 hijackers solely responsible, or was Al Qaeda responsible for 9/11? Come on, what kind of bullshit is that? Give me a break. Sorry to use the profanity.
No.
I mean, gee whiz.
How can a hijacker's passport be on the ground?
What are you talking about? Oh, so you're saying that Muhammad Atta and those people didn't do it? James Woods, shortly before 9/11, James Woods gave an interview after 9/11 on Fox News. I think it was O'Reilly. And I've only heard him talk about this once. The great James Woods, he's all over X, great American actor. And he was on a flight before 9/11 that Muhammad Atta was on. He didn't know it at the time, but when he was on that flight, he got off that flight. He called the FBI, and he said these guys were rehearsing a hijacking. And he later identified one of them as Muhammad Atta. That's James Woods.
Yeah.
The buildings fell down, right? The buildings, the planes crashed into the buildings. I saw it. I saw the second one live.
Well, we all did.
So what happened? So my question is, you're saying that the assassin of Charlie Kirk, he's a lone Democrat. So it's not all Democrat. And what I said to you is 9/11 was done by 19 Al Qaeda hijackers. Was Al Qaeda responsible, or just these lone 19 Al Qaeda? What kind of stupid logic are you spewing here?
I'm not in those people's minds.
They're not in their mind. I didn't ask you what their mindset was. Was Al Qaeda responsible, or just the 19 hijackers? Oh my goodness! What has happened? What has happened?
Not every Al Qaeda.
Not every Al Qaeda is horrible. Did you really just say that? Tell me about the good Al Qaeda.
I've been
Tell
to
me,
that
tell me the
country.
good Al. Who are the good Al Qaeda?
I
Oh,
have
my
been to
goodness.
that country. I've traveled.
Oh
No
my
one
goodness! See,
after.
this is why Canada is a third-rate country. All right, appreciate the call. Oh my goodness! Not all Al Qaeda are bad, she said. These callers are real people, okay? These are people that are watching me on YouTube and they're calling me, okay? They're watching me on YouTube somewhere, you know, on their phone, on their TV, on their computer, on their iPad. They're at home, sitting on the toilet. I don't know where they are, but these are real people. I know, you can't believe. If you're new to the program, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. The Brian Craig Show podcast is available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for The Brian Craig Show. I'll come up. If you want to catch the show live, where I'm taking the live calls, go to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube, and you can catch the show live there where the live calls are. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Tony, California.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, so looks like Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air, and
Tonight.
I'm hearing a lot of chatter that Trump got mad and he put pressure on him, and he's the one who got Jimmy off the air.
You heard a lot of
I don't
chatter?
understand.
What does that mean? You heard a lot of chatter.
Well, a lot of talk. I listen to a lot of.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
like
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What action did President Trump take to remove Jimmy Kimmel from the air for 3 nights?
Okay, hold on a second. I think you might have misunderstood the premise of my question. I'm hearing a lot of people on other shows calling in and they're saying things like that. That's what I'm asking you. Where are they getting this from? Why are they saying?
The other shows you're listening to are not informed people, and they're parrots. They're just repeating sounds that they heard other people say, and they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, President Trump commented 2 times, maybe 3, about Jimmy Kimmel and being off the air because reporters asked him. Okay, Carr from the FCC did 3 interviews. One was with Benny Johnson. One was with Jesse Waters on Fox. And then he did a 3rd one where he was interviewed on stage somewhere at some event. I don't know what that was. And he talked about going over the line and standards and broadcast licenses. The FCC, the president, the government took no action. ABC took him off the air for 3 nights. And liberals have started this lie that the president and or the FCC did it. No, they did nothing. They gave some opinions, but they didn't do anything. And if they did, how did Jimmy get back on the air today? When did the president and the FCC pull back whatever they did to take him off the air to allow them to put him on?
No, I agree. I was asking for clarity, mostly for maybe someone who.
No, I'm not giving you a hard time, but these other
Yeah.
people you listen to are they're no talent kooks. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well, you know what? I will agree with that. Some shows are done very poorly. I won't say all of them, but I know they all, every one of them. Will have the opinion of
the opinion. I have informed. Listen. I am a broadcaster with over 30 years of experience on the air every day. Okay, I'm not some guy in his bedroom like these idiot liberal parrots that you're talking about. You know, a parrot. You know, when I say a parrot, that's a big. You know, parrots don't really talk. They just hear sounds that people make and then try to mimic them. You know, and right. If you've ever heard a parrot talk, they don't really. That's how these liberals that have shows are. MSNBC, CNN, whoever else, these liberals you're talking about, they're just repeating sounds. They're imitating sounds that they heard other liberal idiots say. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well, that's my impression of it also. That's my interpretation of it also. I mean, I listen. It does. Here's what I will say. If you get a chance and you listen to some of these other shows, they are not done at the level of
this
I
show.
think your show there is a very professional,
yes, it is.
professionally done level.
Thank you.
And these other shows they're just not done at the same level. I don't mean they don't have the same equipment or they don't got the same green screen in the back or whatnot. They're just not done at.
Yeah, they're amateurs.
Kind of,
they're amateurs. Yeah. They're amateurs. They're
yeah.
All right. Hey,
So
listen,
anyway,
I appreciate the call.
right on, man.
All right, you take care. Welcome to the show. If you're watching on the live stream with the green behind me, go to my main stream. Then you get all the special effects. You get to see and hear all the audio and everything. And the link to my main stream is in the description of the episode if you're watching with the green behind. I'm going to take a quick break. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name's Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
What do cybersecurity and retro video games have in common? Find out when you tune into Hacking Pixels with host Frank Morano. Hacking Pixels is a podcast where digital security meets the nostalgia of the classics you grew up with. Brought to you by Actionable Security, each episode covers the latest cybersecurity news as well as threats, while at the same time celebrating iconic games. From a special 40th anniversary tribute to Mario Brothers to Double Dragon, Sonic, Pac-Man, and the newest developments in AI gaming, Hacking Pixels is the perfect mix of protecting your digital world and reliving the golden era of gaming. Whether you're a cybersecurity enthusiast, a retro gamer, or both, power up your knowledge and join the fun. Add Hacking Pixels with host Frank Morano to your podcast playlist right now on Apple Podcast and Spotify. They slaughtered his kin. They took his granddaughter. They left him to die. But death was not the end. In the shadowed lands of ancient Mesopotamia, an old man rises from the earth, wounded, changed, and hungering for something he does not understand. Each step on his blood-soaked path brings him closer to the raiders and deeper into the grip of a darkness older than the cities of man. A cloaked giant walks the night. A silhouette of a small boy haunts him. With every bite of human flesh, he grows stronger and less certain he remains himself. Somewhere beyond the deserts and walled cities, his granddaughter waits, or what remains of her. And under the gaze of the full moon, the line between human and monster fades. Order your copy of The Sumerian, Birth of the Revenant right now on Amazon. Are you searching for wisdom that actually transforms your life? In a world full of quick fixes and empty advice, author Paul Geis brings you something timeless in Biblical Wisdom for Modern Living, a self-help guide on Proverbs with insights from Mother Mary, available on Amazon. This powerful book takes the eternal truths of Proverbs and the spiritual lessons from Mother Mary's apparitions at Guadalupe, Lourdes, and Fatima, and shows you how they apply to today's challenges. When you read Biblical Wisdom for Modern Living, you'll discover how to strengthen your relationships, master communication, find deeper purpose in your work, manage your finances with contentment, and grow in true wisdom. Biblical Wisdom for Modern Living gives you enduring principles rooted in God's Word, paired with reflection questions as well as actionable steps for real transformation. Biblical Wisdom for Modern Living, a self-help guide on Proverbs with insights from Mother Mary, is available now on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and free with Kindle Unlimited. And don't miss out on author Paul Geis's other inspiring books, A Leap in Faith in Detroit and Breaking the Label. Both books are also available on Amazon. Transform your life with wisdom that lasts. Start today with author Paul Geis's books on Amazon.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I want to take a moment to talk about Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. You know, you guys have heard me talk for quite a while. I first met Dr. Appleton 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, and he treated me for knee pain, and I'd suffered from knee pain after a car accident for about 30 years. And after 2 treatments, my pain was gone. In fact, I saw a relief after the first treatment. After the second treatment, the pain was gone. And over 3 years later, the pain has not returned. He has rid me of pain a total of 7 times, from arthritis pain to falling off my skateboard and things like this. And I have met so many listeners who have been rid of all kinds of pain. And, you know, Dr. Appleton's right here in Florida with his laser wave pain treatment, but we have listeners all over the United States who have traveled to see Dr. Appleton. I just was over at Dr. Appleton's office on Saturday, and he was telling me the day before that a couple from North Carolina that watch me on YouTube and listen to my podcast, came from North Carolina just to see him. We've had listeners travel from New York and Connecticut and all over the United States. The laser treatment, there are no shots, no injections, no surgery, no drugs. It's 100% painless. You don't even feel the treatment when the robotic laser is doing its work, and it works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. I'm going to go through some pains. This is an incomplete list, but these are some of the more common pains. Arthritis and bursitis, work and sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck and back injuries, knee pain, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis. This one I can't pronounce. Spondylosis? I don't know. Do you know what that is, Kathy? Spondylosis? Spondyliosis? Okay. Do you know what that is? It's on the list. Spondyliosis. Rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain, and any other pain I've ever heard, like spondyliosis. I don't even know what that is, but if you've got it, you probably know. Give Dr. Appleton a call. You know, the consultations are free. It is a free, no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. Go and talk to him about his laser wave pain treatment. If you have x-rays or scans, bring them with you. Dr. Appleton will gladly look them over. His number, 954. You can call him right now. If you're listening live, he's open still for a little bit. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah.
Finally. It took long enough.
Well, I'm sorry. A lot of people want to talk to me.
No, you were doing your freaking ad read.
Well, that's how I make a living. Instead of sitting around playing with my dog at 8 minutes to 5 in the afternoon, I'm making a living.
Okay.
You're the one who brought it up. You brought it up.
Huh? Sorry, I hear you. Can you repeat yourself?
No. Go ahead. You called me. What's on your mind?
Okay, yeah, I've been listening for a while.
Yes.
And I just got a few things. One, the Kirk shooter, we don't know. They haven't been cooperating with the police. We don't know. They could be anything. You're right that that he has a trans roommate, so that could
a trans boyfriend. No, a trans boyfriend. That makes him gay. If you are a guy and you have a boyfriend, you're gay.
He called him my love. Right?
Yeah, he called him my love and all those messages and everything. And he wrote all that trans stuff on the gun.
Did you read those? I'm around the shooter's age. None of us talk like that. Those are 100% fake.
But if you had a boy, if
you're
a guy, wait a minute. If you're a guy with a boyfriend who's transitioning to become a girl,
I get it. You don't have to.
Is that gay?
You don't have to repeat yourself.
Is he gay?
Yeah, I get it. I understand you. You do not have to repeat yourself. I understand that point.
Pretty sensitive.
I'm just saying. Did you read the text?
The text is? Yeah.
None of us talk like that.
Okay.
None of the people my age talk like that.
Okay.
All right. We don't talk like it's the 70s.
Well, then why did he turn it? He turned himself in. He confessed to his dad and surrendered to the police. So that means he did it. He confessed to his dad and turned himself in. Plus, they have him on video.
When did I argue that? I didn't say that.
Oh, you're saying he's not gay? If he has a boyfriend, he's gay, right?
What?
He has a.
Hold on. Wait. Wait. Stop. Let me. Hold on. I said.
I can't believe what's going on here.
If the shooter is a Democrat.
Sure, we do.
Having a trans boyfriend.
Yeah, he shot.
Hold on.
He shot the number.
Hold on, bro. Please.
Okay, bro.
Please just give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
I said that they had a trans boyfriend. All right, and that could be an indicator that they might be left wing. That might be a Democrat, but we don't know because the shooter was not cooperating with the police and not telling them nothing.
Not telling them nothing's a double negative, which means he's telling them everything.
Oh my.
That means they're telling him everything. You said ain't telling him nothing is a double negative, which means he's telling them everything.
The shooter was not telling the police the information they wanted. He was not cooperating.
He turned himself in and confessed. He confessed and turned himself in.
But he's not telling them anything other than that.
He killed. Okay, we agree he's gay. He killed the number 2 conservative MAGA leader in the United States. Number one's the president. Number two was Charlie Kirk. If he's not a Democrat, he's not liberal, why did he assassinate the number two guy in the whole MAGA Republican movement? I think that establishes his liberal credentials.
Have you ever heard of this group? It's not really. I don't know how to pronounce it, but like Roper. Spelled Groyer.
I hear people throwing that crap around. I don't need to know what that perversion is.
There's a theory going around which is just as valid as the freaking Democrat theory because we don't know.
We do know.
He hasn't been telling the police anything.
Sure, we know.
They're so far right, so extreme that they killed him for not being extreme enough.
So you're saying that the assassin was a conservative?
A little bit more than that.
Are you high? Are you high?
Huh?
Are you high?
I'm not high, bro.
Are you intoxicated?
Dude. Okay, no, here, I have other points right now.
So you're telling me that the Charlie Kirk assassin. Wait a minute.
My liver, my lungs, everything. It's beautiful.
Well, what about your liver might be fine. Your liver might be fine, but your brain seems to be slightly damaged.
My brain. Please, mister, I have a big, beautiful brain that has never been...
beautiful brain?
Yeah. Never been corrupted by alcohol, that has never been corrupted by drugs, ever.
But it also apparently it also has not been exposed to knowledge.
Give me a minute.
Give me a minute.
Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
You want a minute?
No, I don't want a minute. I got a whole bunch of callers. I want to move on. So let me get this straight. You're telling me that the gay shooter with a transgender boyfriend assassinated Charlie Kirk. He's a conservative, and he thought that Charlie Kirk was too liberal? Is that what you're telling me?
I said, no, he thought that Charlie Kirk wasn't right-wing enough. I was going to say race.
Yeah? Oh, my goodness.
Touch that.
Oh, my goodness. Hey,
I think he was like...
Listen, I got to run. I got to run. I got some other callers.
Wait,
I'll give you the last
word. Bear with
word.
me for like one more point.
Oh, boy.
You ever heard of Melissa Hortman? Melissa Hortman.
Yeah. What about her?
Why weren't you guys bringing her up?
Well, we did. In fact,
this happened in June.
Yeah, in fact, when Melissa Hortman was murdered, I talked about it quite a bit on the program, as did everybody else in the media. She was murdered by a Democrat.
No.
Yes.
I never ever heard. I only heard about this, and I watched the news a lot. I never heard about this up until Kirk got shot.
Yeah, well, I did. I did because I did because I'm informed. Before she was killed, okay, not long before she was murdered by this Democrat. I'll tell you everything that happened, okay? Not long before she was murdered by this Democrat, she went viral among those of us that talk about the news and follow the news. Everyone in the national media was talking about her before she was shot. She was a Democrat in the state legislature in Minnesota, and she was the only Democrat in the state legislature who crossed party lines and voted with Republicans to take away Medicaid health insurance from illegal aliens in Minnesota. And it was a big viral moment. Everybody was talking about her. The guy that killed her was a Democrat who had a state-level job. He was appointed to by the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, who's a Democrat. He was Kamala.
Are you sure?
Yes. You can look.
Sure? Because
I'm gonna. When I'm done, excuse me. I'm gonna tell you the whole story, and when I'm done talking to you, you can go and let Google do the walk-in and research this. He was appointed to a state-level job by Tim Walz, the Democrat governor of Minnesota, who was the running mate to Kamala Harris. He was appointed to that job for the first time by the previous Democrat governor. When he was arrested, he had a couple things in his car. One, he had a bunch of flyers in his car for that No Kings event that the Democrats put on a couple months back, and he had a hit list of 50 pro-life, anti-abortion people that were on his assassination list. He killed Hortman because she voted with the Republicans to take Medicaid health insurance benefits away from illegals. That is all 100% true. You can look it all up. On your own. Go look it
Well,
up.
I looked it up right now, and he said that he was anti-LGBT and he was anti-abortion. And
He
was
didn't
a Trump
say any of
supporter.
that. No, he didn't say any of that. Nope. Some guy,
Well, yeah,
some
he
guy,
didn't
no,
say
some
any of
guy
that.
in a Papa John's shirt sitting on a stoop said that to the press. We don't even know who he is. Some fat guy in a Papa John's t-shirt said that. Hey, listen, I'm going to run. Thanks for the call, all right? Take care. Remember that guy sitting on the stoop, whole national media interview? Was it Papa John's or a Pizza Hut shirt he had on? Look up everything that I just told you. It is 100% the truth. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, Brian, man. My name's Anthony Marvell. I'm calling from North Carolina, my man.
Hey, what's up?
Not too much, man. You know, I had a question,
Well, here we
and this
go.
is where I'm stuck in the middle on.
Yes, the middle.
First off,
All these liberals are in the middle
let me say-
today. Every liberal that's called me is in the middle today.
No, I'm not a liberal. That's what I'm going to start off by saying. First off, I am a Republican conservative. You know, I stood for everything Charlie Kirk stood for.
Okay.
So that's first most. Secondly, my question is this, though. Here's where it's got me in the country today. What this 22-year-old shooter did, and I know there's more behind it, and they're going to find him, and this is all going to go down, and it needs to go down. But my question is, how am I supposed to feel considering, like, if I follow the scripture and I believe in the Bible just as wholeheartedly as Charlie Kirk did, am I supposed to hate these people, you know, go to war or pray death upon them for what they've done?
Yeah.
Or are we supposed to just keep taking the hits?
Well, if you are,
and just,
you know, first off, I'm going to call total bullshit on your whole story, okay? If you are this conservative that you claim to be, which I don't, you're going to tell me 5 more times you are, but I don't believe you. If you are the conservative that you want me to believe, you would have watched the Charlie Kirk Memorial all day on Sunday, right?
I saw clips of it on
You
my
saw
phone.
clips
I
of it.
did
No,
see
if
the
you,
big game.
excuse me, if you were the conservative Republican that you claim to be, you wouldn't have watched a couple clips on your phone. You would have watched the whole damn thing. And you certainly would be able to tell me what Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, did. What did Charlie Kirk's widow do?
Oh, she forgave the guy.
Correct. So that's what you do. All right? Stop saying stupid stuff. All right. Thanks for your call. You're on the air. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey, it's Sean from Florida.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, so I'm a right-leaning individual, such as yourself.
A right-leaning individual?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did have some concerns.
Yes, of course.
I've been
All these,
watching the show
you know, it's
for-
amazing. All these middle-of-the-road people and conservatives have all these concerns today. All right, what are your concerns, Mr. I lean to the right?
I mean, should I not have concerns about my country?
Oh, put on your high horse.
If I want it
Tell
to
me,
be the best?
Tell me what your concerns are. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be clever.
So I had some super big concerns. I've been watching the show for a while,
Yes.
and I've heard you say multiple times that it seems like it's nothing but right-wing people receiving the violence from anybody but left-wing people.
Correct.
And I agree that there's definitely some people on the left. There's crazies who want to say crazy shit after Charlie Kirk was killed, and want to actually go out and commit violence.
Okay, so you're going to tell me about the right-wing violence on liberals. Okay, let's go. Tell me about it.
No, I've seen instances on the news, and I wanted
Where?
to get your
Where?
opinion because
Where?
I mean, I'm talking about people who committed violence and then in testimony
When?
in court
Who?
said that they were.
Who? When? Where? What? Who? When? What? Where?
The man who attacked Nancy Pelosi's house and killed
No, that was
her husband. He said
so that was a homeless gay guy living on the streets of San Francisco. That's not a MAGA Republican
and that's
guy.
what Charlie Kirk said. That's what Charlie Kirk
Exactly.
said. I heard that
I mean, how many MAGA people are
my
gay,
only thing-
homeless, living on the streets of San Francisco? Come on.
My only point is
Gee
that
whiz.
this man
Stupid
voted for Trump, the man who did it.
Uh-huh. How do you know
he was
that? How do you
registered
know
as
that?
Republican.
How do you know that?
Because it's public information. He said this during his testimony.
Your vote's not registered. It's not public. You can't go and see how people voted like that.
He said it in court.
Yeah. Why do you think he said
that
it?
was brought up when
Why
he
do you
was
think?
asked. When he was asked,
Why do you
was there a
Why do you
political
think?
motive to
Why
your
do you think
action?
this crazy man said that? Why would he say that? Why? What
I
would
mean,
that?
he's under oath.
Well, he's under oath. The homeless, crazy gay man who lives on the streets of San Francisco.
He wasn't even homeless, and he wasn't even gay.
What was he
He was
then?
a married white man. He was a married white man who said in court that he
No.
that
What
he
he
voted
what
for
he
Trump,
said
and
what
he
he
was-
when he said he voted for Trump. First of all, he is gay. He is homeless. He was living on the streets of San Francisco, and he's severely mentally ill. And he said crazy
Where
things.
are you getting this information from? I just would like to ask
The
where are you
news,
getting this
NBC
information from?
News, actually, the original local, the reporter got fired. There was a local reporter for the local San Francisco NBC affiliate. I believe he was, I don't remember his name. I think he was African American. He did some truthful reporting immediately after the event because it was a local crime story. We got all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before the polluting, the
So, and he
Pelosi's
was
and them
fired-
got
and he
to
was
him.
fired for
No,
what, telling the
see,
truth,
this
or
is
was
what
he fired
this
for
is.
lying?
This is what happened. Okay, what Charlie Kirk. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because it gives us some time to flesh this out. Okay, and being a right-leaning person, you want the truth on this. Paul Pelosi.
Exactly. I just wanted to state this as well.
No,
I
I'm gonna.
care
No,
about
we're
the
not gonna.
truth.
We're not gonna go on any other tangents. I'm gonna explain what happened here. Okay, Paul Pelosi had two incidents that happened that were nationally known and scandalous. This was the second one. In both instances, his wife was out of town. The first one, he was leaving a late night party somewhere in California wine country in his convertible Porsche. He was in the car with someone who was never identified, and he got into a car accident. The police body cam footage and dashboard footage was never produced, and the police reports were never released telling us who was in the car with him. That was the first incident. And a short time after, I can't remember.
What does the person being in the car mean anything?
Well, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. And it was a national scandal everyone was talking about. And shortly after that, this second incident happened. How long after, I don't remember, but it wasn't that long after. And Paul Pelosi, when the police came, he answered the door in silk underwear. Okay? He was wearing silk underwear. And who answers the door in their underwear, especially silk underwear? And what Charlie Kirk had said, and when that incident happened, Nancy was out of town again. She was in D.C. both times. And people were wondering, why is Paul Pelosi having all these adventures when his wife's out of town? I know if my wife were out of town and I kept having these kind of incidents, my wife would probably think I was out with prostitutes and stuff, right? Right in my underwear, out and getting
like Donald Trump.
No, we're not talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about the topic.
No, I know.
No. We're talking about this.
I'm not trying to shift the conversation.
Yes, sure you are.
I'm not trying to shift the conversation.
I am not done. I am not. No, you cannot. I'm not done.
You told your story.
No, I am not done. No, I am not done. So when the second incident happened, it really was scandalous. And I promise you, Nancy Pelosi, contrary to anything she said publicly, was plenty pissed. The guy is a homeless gay guy. So people were wondering, why is this guy coming to Paul Pelosi at night? What Charlie Kirk was talking about on his show is some conservative should bail him out so he'll tell us what he was doing there. This story that this lunatic told in court that I'm a MAGA Trump voter, we're not going to be able to document this, but I think it's quite obvious. You only need half a lick of common sense. The Pelosi's paid him to say that. They got him to say that through paying him or coercion or made a deal to lighten the sentence so that they could take the spotlight off of this scandalous nightlife that Paul Pelosi has when Nancy's out of town. Don't you get it? Does that make sense?
Okay, so I'm a little bit lost because it seems
like
you're
most
trying
liberals
to say that a man that went to, I'm conservative, I voted for Trump.
I know, I can tell. I can tell. You said he sleeps with hookers, but you voted for him? Bullshit. Double bullshit. You're full of it. You are full of it. You just told me that he sleeps with hookers, which is not true. And you tell me you say something like that.
Okay, no, not hookers, porn stars.
No, he didn't. No, the same thing. You said, now you're saying that. You didn't vote for Trump. You can keep saying you did.
I don't know why you're getting so worked up. Why are you?
Because I don't like being lied to by condescending liberals trying to pass themselves off as a good, honorable MAGA person with some legitimate concerns.
I'm asking you questions. How am I lying?
No, you're a lie, but you're lying. You're lying.
Can I speak?
Go.
So I'm a little bit confused as to why you are bringing up that he went to a party, a wine country party, and then got in an accident.
Well, the reason you're confused is because you're an idiot. You brought up. I was not talking about the Paul Pelosi thing. You brought it up, and I was explaining in context what happened. And what everything that was going on, and why that guy said that in court.
But what does him answering the door? What does him answering the door in underwear at nighttime have anything to do with? I'm in my underwear fucking at nighttime all the time.
Well, do you answer? So no. He answered. Do you answer the door in your underwear when people come to the house?
Depends on who's. I've seen multiple videos of people answering the door in their underwear.
I didn't say. I'm sure there's all kinds of weirdos and freaks and white trash and perverts and all kinds of stuff. But when you call, if you're naked in your underwear and you call 911, are you going to put a pair of pants on, or are you going to answer the door in silk boxer shorts and a silk robe that's not buttoned up?
It depends on how urgent it is. I don't know.
Depends on how urgent it is. Hey, listen. I appreciate your call. Call me again sometime. All right. Take care. Oh my goodness. He voted for Trump, he tells us. But he has sex with hookers and porn stars, he says, which is all BS. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Tom, and I'm from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Just giving you a call about the caller called in regards to the, assassination of Melissa Hortman in Minnesota. And the person who killed her was a Republican.
No, he was not. No, he was not. He was not a Republican.
In Minnesota, listen to me. In Minnesota, it is public record on if you vote and in what primary. He voted in the Republican.
They have a crossover. They have in Minnesota. Slow down, dummy. Slow down. Okay. Excuse me, stop talking for a second. You're going to learn something. Minnesota, oh my goodness. No, in Minnesota, they have crossover primaries. Republicans can vote in the Democrat primary, and Democrats can vote in the Republican primary. So the fact that he voted in the Republican primary doesn't mean that he's a Republican. If he's a Republican, why did Tim Walz?
How do you know he's a Democrat?
Because
how you know he's a Democrat.
I have told you guys. Listen. I'm going to tell you briefly because I went through the whole thing 15 minutes ago in detail. So rewind the show. He had a state level job that he was appointed to by Tim Walz, the Democrat governor of Minnesota. He had that job previously. He was first appointed to by the Democrat governor before Walz. In his car, he had a hit list of 50 pro-life, anti-abortion Republicans that he was going to kill. Melissa Hortman. He also had a bunch of flyers for the No Kings March, that liberal thing a couple months ago. Melissa Hortman had voted cross-party lines and voted with the Republicans to take health care insurance away from the illegals in Minnesota. He's a Democrat. They have a crossover primary. And a lot of times...
How is any of what you just said proof that he's a Democrat? If you're going to claim that by...
He had a hit list with 50 Republicans he was going to kill! He got appointed to a job by Democrat Tim Walz. He was appointed to another job by another Tim. Yes, it does. Tim Walz is appointing Republicans.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Democrats.
It does matter.
If a person is right for the job, Democrats.
Oh my, yeah, Tim Walz. Tim Walz appointed a Republican? Well, then why did he have a hit list of 50 Republicans he was going to kill and the flyers to the No Kings March? And out of all the Democrats he killed, it was the Democrat that voted with Republicans to take health insurance from illegals. What is wrong? Are you okay? What's the matter with you?
How come every single person that was interviewed said he was pro-Trump?
There was one guy. There was one guy.
No, it was his roommate and his family members.
No. There was one guy who said he was his roommate, the fat guy sitting on the steps wearing the Papa John's polo shirt. One guy. We don't even know who the freak that guy was. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. every single show since that Democrat assassinated Charlie Kirk, I got to explain the Hortman thing at least once. You know, I might just take the recording of the first time in this show and then just play it every time someone calls. I got to go through the whole thing. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Frank from West Palm. How you doing here?
All right,
Brian,
Frank.
you were absolutely correct. Laporta Roofing was amazingly phenomenal. They just completed my roof last week, and Laporta Roofing was superb in all ways imaginable when installing the new roof on my residence. Tom Laporta meticulously spearheaded the entire project from inception through to the finalization of the assignment. Tom handled all the paperwork involving city permits, inspectors, and my community HOA. He was always available, ensuring me that he had my back in all phases of the project. Additionally, Tom, Scott, and Dan, and the entire crew were very well organized with the plan, consistent with all policies and procedures, and craftsmanship was exemplary in all stages of the design execution. Tom, Scott, and Dan maintained continual contact with me, the homeowner, asking if there were any questions I had or anything further I needed. Laporta Roofing is, in every respect, a stellar, 5-star, AAA, family-owned company that is a reliable, peace-of-mind roofing organization. These guys are spot on with regards to perfection, and they demand it. I remain mesmerized upon the completion of the job. My roof is a masterpiece. And one last thing before I forget, they were the least expensive quote that I received out of 4 quotes for roofing. I thank Tom Laporta Roofing for all that they do.
Wow, Frank. Well, thanks so much. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He works with every type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal, and he works with every type of roofing material. Also, don't forget, Tom Laporta will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need just a simple repair, he'll do it. He can also handle the job of any size, whether it's a single-family home or an HOA with over 200 units. Give him a call. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, laportaroofing.com. Frank, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Brian. You have a wonderful day.
All right, and don't forget, with MyPillow, it's promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And I got to remind you guys, you know, I've done this big expansion on my show. I've turned the 3-hour morning show into a 4-hour show. And I've also continued the program during the radio station breaks, if you noticed, on the morning show. And the afternoon show, my weekend shows, the podcast, this huge expansion I've done is all brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. So it's very important for you guys to go to MyPillow.com, use my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and load up. Great deals going on. Okay. The phones are ringing off the hook, so let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, we're in one of those moods. Hello, you're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Jermaine. I'm calling from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
All right, Connecticut.
I just wanted to say thank you, Mr. Craig. I really appreciate what you do, man.
Well, thank you. That's
yes,
it?
You're a real inspiration to us all, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Bill. I'm calling from New York. How are you?
All right, Bill. What's on your mind?
I'm calling because you're talking about Melissa Hortman and claiming that the list that he had was a bunch of Republicans. I'm looking at the affidavit, Terry Gretsch from the case in the United States District Court for the District of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Probable cause. It claims that, let me find it. Here we go. Section 1, Bolter's preparation for a stalking and murderous campaign. Evidence uncovered in this investigation indicates that Bolter extensively planned his stalking, murders, and attempted murders. As discussed below, Bolter's preparation efforts included identifying several websites that allow users to search for the personal information of others, like home addresses and family member names. Bolter also made lists containing the names and home addresses of many Minnesota public officials, mostly or all Democrats. I will send you the link. I will send you the link in the chat. You're spreading misinformation.
No, I'm not. I'm not spreading misinformation. Then why'd he hang up before we could get into the meat of that BS? And he called me a piece of S. I didn't hang up on him. He hung up before we could get to the bottom of that. BS. Okay? I'm sorry that Democrats are killing people. I wish they weren't. Okay? I'm opposed to murder. And you Democrats out there are really in denial about what's going on. You're on, and you hear the rage from some of these callers, calling me a piece of S and everything else. I mean, there's a lot of anger from the left, as you can see. All right. And he hung up because he didn't want to have that conversation. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jason out of Nashville, Tennessee.
All right.
I won't keep you no longer than I have to, man. I just saw something on YouTube today, and I was really curious if you might have caught it. There was this video of the assassination, and it was a different theory that the bullet came from a different direction, hit him in the back of the head.
Oh, you're talking about the Candace Owens line of crap? Now, we watched it. We saw it. You're talking about the Charlie Kirk. We all saw it. Sadly, the bullet hit him in the chest and ricocheted into his neck. Candace Owens is just... I saw Candace Owens. I think Candace Owens is a pathetic person. Okay? I mean, Candace Owens is...
I don't think this was from Candace Owens,
yeah,
though.
she started this whole thing. No, she started this whole thing, and this guy's repeating her crap. She claimed that somebody from Turning Point gave her camera footage from a camera behind Charlie. No one did that. She was talking about a guy going through tunnels and coming up through a trapdoor underneath Charlie Kirk. I'll be so whatever you're watching is somebody who took her insane stupidity and is regurgitating it.
Yeah, and I didn't, all I know is I saw the way his head moved, and it kind of seemed like it might have been a possibility, but then
he didn't know it didn't see. He got shot. He got shot in the front. Okay, unfortunately, I saw the video. I wish I wouldn't have, but I saw it when it happened, okay? He got shot in the front, and he fell back in the chair.
Right, yeah, I saw that too.
So, come on.
I think it might be people trying to just take the focus off the guy they have in custody.
I think what it is I think a lot of people are in the clickbait. And that's a clickbait thing that gets people to watch. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's very well may be true, but that's all I really had for you, man. I enjoy your show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, but Candace Owens is a terrible person. She's spreading this crap, and because she gets so many views, there's a bunch of idiots out there that are regurgitating that crap for clicks and views. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I wasn't really aware of that. This video, I didn't know that it might be something spewed from that person. But I guess,
that's okay.
It makes sense.
That's okay.
Now that you say that.
No.
But anyway, man, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for watching and calling.
I'll keep watching.
All right, take care. Take care. Good guy. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Hey, this is Thomas. I'm from California.
Okay, Thomas, what's on your mind?
Hey, I had a question. Just I feel like more now than ever, it's just kind of like I watch old videos of debate and current videos of debate, just any subject. And nowadays, it just kind of seems like any debate just really seems like arguing. Like the last couple of conversations you had, would you consider those debates or arguments?
No, those are. Let me tell you, when you watch this program, I am one of the most experienced and highly talented political debaters in the United States. I have debated, I don't know, 1 million callers. I've been doing this for 35 years. I have talked to hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million callers in that time, most of them liberal, and have had endless debates. And if you go back and now I can't help it when these liberals are losing, and they won't stop talking, but that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not talking about like you specifically. I know how some of those can like start, but I'm just talking like overall in general. Like it just kind of seems like more like arguing, and I guess this is more of just like maybe a comment like about like just kind of today.
Well, give me an example of who you're talking about. You talking about me? You talking about somebody else? What are you talking about?
I wasn't trying to keep anything like specific, but I hate to keep digging this guy up for the sake of a point, because I feel like that's just happening a lot. But like with Charlie Kirk, right, or even you, or just even on liberal sides, right, it just seems like it kind of devolves into arguments.
You know why it seems that way? You know why it seems that way? Because your side's losing the debate.
Because whose side?
The liberal side. The Democrats, the liberals, the left.
Yeah.
You guys are losing the debate. It feels like arguing because you guys are losing. You're wrong about it. You're losing. You're losing because you're wrong about everything.
Well, I'm not like.
Oh, yeah. You're MAGA, right?
Myself.
You're a MAGA guy, right?
No, I'm not. I didn't want to like have any of that out just to keep the like conversation neutral, because
you're a liberal.
I said, I'm not
you're
trying
liberal.
To
you're liberal. It's okay. Just admit it. Just admit that you're liberal.
I mean, I'm not.
Really? Who'd you vote
like
for?
I wanted to.
You said you're not MAGA. Did you vote for Trump or Kamala?
Well, I don't want to say just to keep.
You don't want to say to keep the Come on, give me a break.
Well, because I was asking you a genuine question. Like this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then you give me then you don't. Yeah.
To come across.
Come on.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like from what I see, it's like it devolves into arguments, and I just was curious what.
It only feels that way because your side is losing.
It's not my side.
Yes, it is. The liberals. Why are you embarrassed? I understand being embarrassed to be. If I were a liberal, I wouldn't want to admit it either.
Well, I mean, you claim to have like all the experience. And
I do.
Facts, but
yes.
I haven't told you.
Because I've talked to so many people over the years. I'm profiling you based on my experience talking to hundreds of thousands of liberal jerks over the years, and I could tell by the first syllable out of your mouth that you're a liberal. When I said, "What's your name? Where are you calling from?" I've got a good ear. And your evasiveness is just firming that up. I'd be embarrassed
I didn't
too.
Want this to become like a hostile thing.
It's not hostile.
I'm trying to keep it.
It's not hostile.
I'm just asking multiple people this because it's just one of something
multiple
I've observed, and I'm just like kind of like putting together
a
like
what?
A kind of
a what?
Kind of pseudo case. Hello?
What are you?
Just putting together like a pseudo case study just because I've just been curious why.
What are you doing? Putting together like a profile?
Nowadays.
What are you with the BAU on Criminal Minds or something? You putting together a profile? Hey, listen, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Oh boy. During the break, I was drinking some water and started choking on my water, so my voice is a little hoarse. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is Sean from Massachusetts.
Hey, Sean. What's up?
Oh, man, the state of these callers. I don't know what's going on. I'm listening to these one after another. It's a really hot streak today, I'll tell you what. I don't understand where they're getting their information. It's just absolutely insane. Well, how can you not process common sense? How can you not process the true facts? It's all right on running everywhere. And there's no speculation involved. You don't have to speculate. The facts are the facts. We know who did this in Minnesota.
Yes.
We know what happened with Charlie Kirk. I don't understand what the issue is here. These people are absolutely insane.
A lot of them are, some of the Democrats literally are in denial, and they can't accept the fact that their side is out there shooting people. So they want to believe these things. They're in denial. The Democrat Party's done, and there's a grieving state going on, and one of the stages of grief is denial, right? And a lot of them are in denial. Some of them are just liars, you know, and some of them are stupid people that are just regurgitating what other liberal idiots have said. But there's a lot of denial.
Right. Well, you know what, and I just keep reflecting, and they like to keep saying, well, this is just a random act of hate. I'm getting tired of hearing that one too.
Yeah,
and
just a random act.
That's done.
Yeah.
No, we're done with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, name us three type conservative hate crimes, conservative attacks, because I can't name one, and no one can name one, because there aren't any.
Well, they keep bringing up Portman in Minnesota, and no matter how many times I explain it, and then the guy with the court papers, he hung up. He called me a piece of S, and then he hung up.
Yeah, the affidavit. Yeah, the affidavit apparently. That
totally made
online.
up. Total BS.
Yeah.
He'll send me that link the 5th of never. And by the way, you think I'm going to click a link that some listeners send? I don't click links that you guys send me. What are you, out of your mind?
That's great. I wouldn't do it either.
No, I don't. You think I click links that anybody sends me? Give me a break.
Unless you know them personally.
I don't click any links from anybody.
No, that's not good. You know, and that's just the worst thing you can do in your email or any
exactly.
None of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like me to click a link. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do. And,
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it's a trap. You know,
exactly. Yeah, I'm going to send you this link, and it has everything. I want to send it right now. Make sure you click it. Yeah, I'll do that. Idiot.
Simple put, it was a guy that worked for Tim Wolf. How the hell could he be conservative? I mean,
exactly.
He worked for Tim Wolf.
Exactly.
And he worked for another Democrat.
Exactly.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know, and I don't know, the common sense, the factor is just not in the building. It's left a long time ago.
That's for sure.
And you know, in proper research and proper thinking, they're lacking some kind of module here, and I don't think they can be helped. And we know what, we're winning this, and it's amazing. And you know what? After this, the movement's just growing bigger and bigger now. I mean, it's grown a million times fold now. What's been happening in the recent events.
Well, listen, I'm gonna move on, but it's good to talk to you. I'll talk to you again sometime. All right, you take care. If you want to call in the numbers in the chat, maybe I'll go a little longer. After that choking incident during the break, my throat's not doing too well, and I got a 4-hour show tomorrow morning, so I have to rest my instrument here. But I'll see. You're on the air. What's your name? And plus, I've been yelling at some of these people. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Daniel.
Hey.
Alaska, Wasilla.
Oh, Wasilla. All right. Sarah Palin's town. Your old Sarah Palin was your mayor. Oh my goodness. You know, I remember when Sarah Palin went. How long have you lived in Wasilla?
Oh, sir, I've been up here for 24 years.
Were you there when Sarah Palin was mayor?
Yes, sir, I was.
Yeah, you know, I remember when she was running for vice president. Okay, the national media went. They poured into Wasilla looking for dirt, and they interviewed a local principal of the school who said that she banned books from the school library. Now, I don't know how. I didn't know that the mayor of a small town was also in charge of the books in the school library. But yeah.
Yeah, it's he says, she says.
I'll take Sarah Palin's word over Katie Couric. So what's on your mind? You called me. Wasilla, Alaska.
Wasilla, Alaska. I'm home with knee replacement. I was just going through YouTube, drinking a couple beers, and I just came across you.
Well, welcome.
I followed you for the last 2 days, and today I'm watching you. It must be an old one, or I don't know what it is. And I said, shit, I'm going to give the guy a call.
An old one? No, I'm live. You're not talking to an old video. This is live. This is not a recording. I'm alive. I'm live.
Oh, right on.
He wouldn't be talking to me if it was a recording.
Oh, I'm trying to turn.
Maybe you're watching another video. Maybe you're watching an old video while you're talking to me live.
I think so, because you guys were talking about Pelosi and all that.
No, that was earlier in the show. You're just behind about 30 or 40 minutes or so. That was talking to some.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're watching a live stream, you can rewind them and everything else. So you're like 30 minutes behind. So your call will be about 40 minutes from the point you're watching.
Oh shit, dude. Well, no, I
That's
just
okay.
wanted to say I think you're doing good, man, and I'm smoking fish and drinking beer.
Smoking
and I
fish?
believe in what you do.
Wow, you got a good life. Wasilla, Alaska, smoking fish, drinking beer, hanging out. Sounds like the good life.
It is, sir. And keep up the good fight.
All right, take care. All right, from Wasilla, Alaska. On that note, I'm going to sign off because my throat really is hurting. All this yelling. Mainly, I was choking. I'm drinking my hurricane stash. You know, it's hurricane season, so you load up on water for hurricane season. This is my hurricane prep water I'm drinking. And during the break, I was choking so much. The water went down the wrong way. My throat's a little scratched, so I need to rest up my throat for the 4-hour show tomorrow morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast, where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to everybody that called in. There were some really great calls today. Even the guy that hung up, and all the liberals, and the fake liberals, and the independents, and the middle of the roads, and the guys leaning here, all the calls were great today. You guys did a great job. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you're tuned in on. The Brian Craig Show is available on all podcast platforms. Take care. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in.